we are going to go to our next guest. They are going to join us live here on our big broadcast here on 990 WBOB. We are going to go to our next guest. She's quite the little perv magnet, I'll have to say. Which, they're all perv magnets. That's why they're here. But we are going to go to our next guest here in just a few seconds here on our big program. Alice Visby is going to be with us. She is going to be appearing as part of Exxxotica 2021. And she is quite the little perv magnet, as you can see, if you're watching us on the old Skip Skype, the old Skype-a-rooney. So, Alice, how in the heck does someone like you get into the adult entertainment business?
Someone like me? What do you mean?
You look like you should be on the front of like Vogue or like CoverGirl or something.
Oh, thank you. I actually got into porn, I guess, through social media, I guess. I had been like a social media influencer, I guess you could say, for a year. And my agent actually found my Instagram and recruited me. I came down to Florida. I loved it, and I moved down here and been in it ever since.
Wow. That's awesome. That's fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. Alice Visby is with us. She's going to be part of Exxxotica Miami, also Exxxotica Edison, New Jersey. So
Yes.
we'll, of course, have to have you talk to our friend Michael Nagy when he is out there covering this event. So just looking at your Instagram and looking at your Twitter profile, no wonder you got discovered by an agent and got into the porn business. Good Lord. So did you do any modeling or anything before you got into social media or any of these things?
Not really, actually. I was going to school. I was a pre-med student. I was dual majoring in diagnostic medical sonography and phlebotomy when I got discovered. And I guess I graduated, my lease was up, and it all just kind of fell together.
Look at that.
It worked perfectly.
So, looking at some of these Instagram shots,
Yes.
obviously you're not taking these, a lot of these photos, you could clearly see the phone in your hand and various things. But who is your like photographer in some of these? Is it just people that are nearby, or do you have like a photographer on staff that just follows you around 24 hours a day?
I have a photographer, I guess you could say, a personal one. His like Instagram is Lofro Photography, and he basically, my best friend, Kiki Clout.
Yeah.
He was her photographer, basically. She introduced us, and he actually lives in our building with us, so he kind of is always around.
That's awesome.
We do hire him to take those photos. So, yeah.
That is fantastic. That you just happen to be best friends, and a guy in the building that has got a.
He moved in with Kiki, so like they're roommates.
Oh well, that's even better to have a photographer living with you. She's lucked out there.
Yeah, he's really talented. He's been in Miami now, I guess, since June. And I mean, he's done great work. He helped make her music video. He goes to truck shows a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, he works on a bunch of different kinds of things. So he's pretty good.
So getting into all this, what was the first on-set experience like for you?
The first on-set experience was actually kind of odd. I literally came down here to Florida. I flew in, I got my portfolio pictures taken, and he sent them out that night. And literally by the time I went to bed, I was already booked. I was flying to Vegas the next morning to shoot with Net Video Girls. And it happened so quick. It was insane.
Really?
Yeah.
It happened that quick for you.
I thought we were going to like settle in and stuff. And he was like, no, we're going straight to the model house to take photos. We took photos. And then he was like, all right, got your booked. You're leaving tomorrow. You're going to Vegas, actually. I was like, wait, what? It was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're going to be part of Exxxotica at
Yeah,
the.
we did.
So are you excited for this? You know, because Miami, Florida is September 17th through the 19th.
I'm excited. So Kiki and I actually have booths side by side. So that's pretty cool. Our
You're just gonna
photographer
hang out.
is gonna be there. We're gonna be side by side. I have like a bunch of merchandise I'm gonna be selling. I have like coasters and car air fresheners and posters, and we're gonna have photos getting taken, stickers. It's gonna be so much fun.
That's great. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So it's basically just a hangout. You guys are just gonna go hang out at an expo together for the weekend.
Yeah. Interesting because there's gonna be so many people that have seen me, and it's kind of surreal, I guess you could say. I haven't done a meet and greet yet, and so it's kind of like a meet and greet too. So it's really cool.
That's awesome. So we have got Alice Visby with us today. She joins us live here in a broadcast. And she is fantastic. You can get more information on the old Twitter machine. She is at Alice Visby, and she is going to be part of the Exxxotica event coming up in Miami, and also she's going to be venturing out to New Jersey, of all places.
Oh God! Don't make me nervous.
God, I'll tell you. Have you ever been to New Jersey?
My dad. House in Newark, I've been there.
Okay, well, I've been to New Jersey once, and it was quite the experience.
Oh no!
I helped move our photographer Michael Nagy back to New Jersey, and he had been telling me all these stories about New Jersey. Oh my God, people don't obey the rules. He was so proud of that. I don't know why, but he was so proud of the fact that people don't obey the rules, is what he was always saying.
Oh,
And
wow.
he took me to the beach, and they had this big giant sign that said, no surfing, no this, no that. We get over this hill, 35 dudes in wetsuits with surfboards. And he takes a look at me and he goes, see, we don't obey the rules in New Jersey. So I think you'll have a good time.
I'm excited. I don't plan on leaving the expo. Literally.
I don't plan on leaving the expo. It's
gonna be hotel, expo hotel, and airport.
Airport.
I'm not venturing off at all.
You're not gonna venture off. You're not gonna go get a bagel somewhere. Everybody and their brother loves their bagels in New Jersey.
Oh, that actually, I kind of want to try a bagel now that you say that. I wonder if I can get like Uber Eats at.
You probably could get Uber Eats. In fact, when we were in Chicago at the Exxxotica, a couple of the girls had pizzas and shit delivered in. So I think you could probably get a bagel.
That makes sense.
So with all of your stuff, are you one of these girls that got into the industry and immediately did every single possible thing she could get her hands on? Or
No.
have you held out?
Yeah, honestly, I've never done anal in my personal life, so I wasn't gonna do it for the first time on film. Just wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I haven't done anal yet. I also haven't done any like boy girl orgy type things. I've done like a threesome with girls, but like not two guys at once, nothing like that. So no, I've definitely held out. I just started doing IR, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Because I remember years ago when we started interviewing porn chicks that, I would talk to various girls and they're like, oh, yeah, I did this. And I'm like, how long have you been in the business? 30 days. And I'm like, what?
That I know a couple of girls I've met and their first scene was anal. And I'm like, what are you doing? But honestly, the major turnaround like in porn is usually 6 months, and that's because these girls come out the gate doing everything.
Yes.
And then nothing to look forward to. But I think also the girls that do that, I don't know. I think everyone has a different strategy. You could do everything out the gate and blow up, and that has happened to one of the girls in our agency. She did basically everything out the gate and she blew up in 6 months. But it just depends on the person. For me, I wanted it more of a career move. I wanted this like to be a long-term thing, not just like a
Yes.
6 or 1 year thing. So I'm gonna at least wait a year into the business to at least try anal, I guess. I don't know.
Well, the one thing I've always been told is that if you do everything at the very beginning, you've got no value to anybody because you've done it all.
Hmm.
So it's
Right.
like,
And honestly, I wasn't even sure how I was gonna like feel about, talking to my family about it, telling, with dating, everything was so new and different that I wasn't used to. So I was like not going to just do all these things I was uncomfortable with if I was gonna end up being like, nope, this isn't for me, I'm out. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And then now I've done all this stuff. So I definitely wanted to make sure I was like for this business, I guess,
yeah.
before I did all that.
Well, I think that's great because, like I said, I've heard and seen and talked to a lot of girls where the they do everything they can and then they got no value. So it's good that you're kind of holding off on various things.
Thank you. I'm trying. I'm
So,
trying.
when you go to set, is there any preparation? Do you have like any pre-game rituals or anything that you do?
Actually, I play Call of Duty
That's
basically
awesome.
right before my scene. I do it every single time. It's like it almost just gets my like heart pumping, and it wakes me up and shit. Because like I'm playing like multiplayer and stuff, so I have to be like on my toes. So I usually do that before. Obviously I shower, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's basically it.
that's
Literally Call
awesome.
of Duty every time.
You play Call of Duty before you go shoot porn. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, when I was living at the model house, they used to make fun of me. Like, don't you ever shoot in 30 minutes? I'll get there. I gotta finish this game
I'll
really quick.
get there.
I'll finish this game and I'll leave.
I'll get there. Well, I'll tell you, judging by, looking at your Twitter profile, your Instagram, and seeing you here on the old Skip Skype, yeah, they can wait for you to get done with your game of Call of Duty.
Oh, thank
That's,
you.
you know.
Oh.
So what are some of your goals as far as the porn business?
Great question. I don't know. I was actually looking to maybe do like my own production at some point. I'm really big into like ski masks, so I would like to make, like, ow, shush. I would
That's
like
awesome.
to make, I guess like my own production, like, and my own website, literally just for like ski mask porn. Like, I'm not even making like any
Ski
kind of
mask
mask.
porn. Hey, I'll tell you that I did not know anything about the smoking pervs years and years ago. And my buddy Ross told me, he's like, oh, yeah, there's guys that just get off on chicks smoking cigarettes and shit.
I was on that.
And I'm like, ski mask porn might be a thing.
It's not a thing yet, and I don't know. I think that might be something I would love to do. I can shoot my own porn, and I can shoot like with Kiki, and her and I do collabs all the time, and you just rack up enough like in your hard drive, I guess, to make a web address, and you just make the idea come to life, and I don't know. I think that's like a goal I would like to do. I haven't necessarily started it yet, but I mean, I have like 100 different masks.
I think that's awesome. You know what's funny is we just got back from Colorado Springs at this place. It was like a tattoo shop, record label, radio station kind of spot, and in the tattoo shop they had all this horror movie memorabilia. They had like a Jason ski mask, all the stuff, and we went up there with one of my porn friends, and she's like, I got to shoot a porn in here sometime.
Yes. I mean, it's definitely, I think, a fetish that like everyone kind of will think about. I mean, people think about it all the time with like, burglar type shits and with the masks. It can definitely be fun, and there's a lot of it around Halloween, obviously. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe around Halloween you might need to reach out to some of your porn brethren and see if you could do a ski mask porn.
I
Shoot
have
a.
a couple of guys that have been asking me to do like trade content or whatever, and I need to reach back out to them and be like, ski masks? What? going on there?
So you have done a heck of a lot in your porn career so far, and you've got a great smile.
Oh, thank you.
You know, that's one thing I take away from all this is that you're not just like a typical porn girl.
How so?
Well, I don't know. You don't look. You're not plastic. You're not fake. You're not all this stuff. You look like you still got a good head on your shoulders. You know, I'm not going to have to worry about hearing about you at the Hard Rock Hotel calling somebody, you know, in the press room going, I need a ride somewhere. I don't have a car or any money.
No, I moved out when I was 17 and like had my own bills, bought my own cars and stuff. So I've been very like make sure I'm able to take care of myself.
Yes.
Every step of the way type of thing.
I think that's awesome. I think that's great.
Yeah.
We have got a great guest with us today. Alice Visby is with us. She joins us live here on our big broadcast. So what is some of your other interests? I notice on Twitter you do the what looks like you do the Robin Hood stuff with stocks.
Oh, yes, I am into stocks. So I don't have Robinhood. What I do have is Stash. So it's
That's
basically
awesome.
a card that you put money onto, and whenever you use the card to buy anything, whether it be groceries, a restaurant bill, your own bills, whatever, it gives you a percentage in that stock. And
Wow.
if that let's say it's a small business or something, a mom and pop shop that don't have a stock, you can pick where the stock goes to. So mine is in Amazon. So whenever I buy something in a mom and dad shop or whatever, no matter what it is, it will go towards that stock. So you just spend money like you would anyway, and you make that. I also have invested though in a lot of ETFs that like have like Microsoft, Visa, Apple, Nvidia, Boeing.
Wow.
That kind of stuff.
You got a little bit of everything going. I think that's awesome.
I like to dabble.
So, besides the porn and the Call of Duty and all the other stuff that you do, what are some of your other interests?
So, I like to skateboard.
That's great.
I like to skateboard. Let's see. I like watching boxing.
That's awesome.
Every Saturday night. I don't know if y'all caught that fight last night. No?
I did not catch that. The last I knew, some guy pretty much beat Manny Pacquiao into retirement. That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no, I was so like last night, Saturday night's UFC fights, I was watching it. Barboza got his ass handed to him, which I'm glad I did not make that bet. I was gonna bet for him to win. So but I like watching boxing. I like to skateboard. What do I like to do? I like to play guitar. I can play guitar.
That's awesome. You can play guitar.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
My friend actually was over 2 nights ago, and we played guitar. And yeah, I mean, I have a piano back in Virginia. I guess, bring down here or something. But I like to do that kind of stuff. Stay busy.
That's great. I think that's awesome that you know how to play guitar and you've got, all these interests. So have you been to have you been to any boxing or UFC events live?
No, it's on the bucket list. It is on the bucket list. I want to go.
That's awesome. So do you, besides Exxxotica, you're going to be at the Exxxotica event September 17th through the 19th in Miami, and then of course October 22nd through the 24th in New Jersey, of all places.
New Jersey.
So do you do the AVNs? Have you been to an AVN in Vegas yet, or?
I have not, because I know that this year when I had started and I was interested in going, it was online or something.
Yes, it was all digital, which was crap.
This is going to be my first porn convention of any kind, I guess, if you will. I guess I'm going to gauge it off that, and
that's awesome. There. That's fantastic. Well, I'll tell you, if you are going to go to a first porn convention, Exxxotica is a good one to go to because it's fun.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to go with, Kiki. She's gonna be next to me. I'm gonna have my friends there helping with like the photography and with selling my merch and stuff. And I'm excited. I'm excited.
I think you'll have a blast because
Are you,
the after parties are fun. The whole Exxxotica experience is fun.
yeah.
Seeing everybody, meeting everybody.
Yeah.
And then there's the usual, since it's Exxxotica, there'll be all sorts of weird things that'll happen at the event that you didn't exactly think going into a porn convention you would see. Like when we went to Chicago, we met the Godfather from WWE. And I'm like, why is he at a porn convention?
I see some fighters there.
So it's Florida, so you probably might bump into some UFC guys or some boxers or something.
Should I bring my boxing gloves? I literally have them right here.
You could bring boxing gloves and do boxing porn.
I might beat up some fans. Let's do it. Just kidding.
Have you been approached or thought about doing this? What the hell is it? Where they have the porn people wrestle each other?
And then I did actually see something just last night on my feed. I would totally do it. I have not been approached yet. No. I actually did 1 year of like boxing, like training, I guess.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
I would love to do that. I would do it.
That's awesome. That would be great.
I would love to just get beat up. Let's do it.
I would love to get beat up. Let's do it.
I've gotten beaten up before. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. So is Alice Visby your actual name, or is this a porn name? And if it's a porn name, how did you come up with this porn name?
It was a social media name before. I made it before I got into porn, but it actually just worked out. Like I said, was doing the social media influencing thing, and people were already reaching out to my family and just being mad disrespectful. So, plus with my degrees that I had gotten, I had talked to my professor, and she was like, you really don't want to, have like these two different things kind of commingle and stuff. And so I basically changed it, I think, August last year. And then I got into porn in January. So it happened like that. Alice, I just picked because my favorite movie growing up was Alice in Wonderland. Loved it.
That's awesome.
And then Visby is like a small town in like the Swedish Scandinavian area. And I am Scandinavian, so
it all works out.
I literally I was looking up like town names, and I found Visby, and I was like, I like it.
So you literally did like the porn generator thing, where you look up the town and all.
Basically.
That's awesome. That's great.
And then it worked out because there's only like one other girl like that's ahead of me in porn. With the Alice, so it actually worked out pretty well.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Because
well, my goal was like I had a couple of names that I was gonna pick, and I pretty much went through all social media to see if those names were taken, what would show up if I typed that name in. Nothing was showing up, so I went ahead and I got Alice Visby on Instagram, TikTok, Xvids.
That's right.
Twitter. I got it basically on everything that I could, so it kind of worked out.
Well, that's great, because then you don't have to worry about later on going and having to be Alice Visby _02 or whatever the fuck it is.
I have 3 Instagrams with the Alice Visby name that I'm 2 of them I'm not even using. They're just backups for if my main gets deleted. So I have like Alice Visby, but then I also have the Alice Visby, the real Alice Visby.
You got a little bit of everything there.
You gotta make sure.
That's great. Well, you have been so much fun. We have to do this again at some stage of the game.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you having me.
You can see Alice in all of her glory at the Exxxotica convention coming up September 17th through the 19th. That is going to be in Miami, Florida. And then, of course, October 22nd through the 24th, a week before Halloween, you can see her in Edison, New Jersey.
I'm excited. It's my birthday weekend in New Jersey. So it's gonna
that'll
be
be fun.
Yeah.
Well, Alice, this has been fun. I definitely want to do this again. Thanks for being on with us, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you all for having me. Have a good day.
Appreciate it. You too. There she goes. That is Alice Visby. And she joins us today here on our big broadcast. We are going to take a brief time out. And when we come back, we have got our next guest coming up. It is a big broadcast.